Hi, this is Brent McKim, President of JCTA, and I am excited to share with you the news that JCTA and the school district have reached a tentative agreement to extend our current contract for another 3 years with some incredible improvements, including a 5% pay raise for the 23-24 school year. If you put that with the current 4% raise for this year, that gives a cumulative 9.2% raise over the 2 years, which is larger than the 8% raise received by state employees. And I want to tell you about a number of the other provisions in the tentative agreement that are significant improvements for our members and based on the feedback that we got from the listening sessions we had with all the different role groups of JCTA members. First of all, the agreement will change the contract to allow lost planning time to be made up outside of the normal contract workday and at home. So you won't have to do it immediately after school or at school. Next, the provisions of the contract will change to allow us to use sick days in half-day increments. So you will be able to use a half of a sick day from starting at the next school year, the 2023-24 school year. Another significant improvement that we agreed to was to make it absolutely clear that the 150 student limit for class size applies even if there is a block schedule with alternating days, unless you modify it with a contract deviation. We also add language to help protect against harassment and hate speech under the discipline section of the contract. We add language that calls for the district to reduce digital documentation that exceeds that which is mandated by local, state, and federal law. We believe this will help us reduce the overhead and overload that so many of our members are dealing with in terms of digital requirements and Google Forms and that sort of thing. Another exciting thing that we're adding to the agreement is a 50-50 teaching, learning, and assessment group at the district level with half the members appointed by the JCTA president. This will create a 50-50 committee with half administrators, half teachers to deal with teaching, learning, and assessment issues and promote labor management collaboration across the district. And in a similar way, we are adding new language to create school-based 50-50 committees that can deal with these issues at each site. We also are adding, not to the contract, but going along with it in a memorandum of agreement, we are adding the responsibility for this new district teaching, learning, and assessment collaborative to review the frequency and length of walkthrough observations that are occurring during the day and after school meeting mandates and required work and documentation that result from those meetings and so forth. And we're charging the Teaching, Learning, and Assessment Collaborative to review the frequency and operation of professional learning communities to address issues that have been raised by our members. We also add new contract language for our mental health practitioners by adding a complete new article to the agreement for these relatively new members of JCTA. And there were a number of other issues that were identified during the listening sessions that we had with our members for contract negotiations. And so we have added to that memorandum of understanding that accompanies the agreement, a provision that says that both parties are committed to continue discussions of issues of interest to either party for potential inclusion in a future memorandum of agreement, including but not limited to issues identified by our ECE teachers, our ESL teachers, our early childhood teachers, our Indigenous and peoples of color teachers, our mental health practitioners, our teachers in state agency schools and special area teachers, among others. So we're going to continue those discussions with the district and look for improvements collaboratively with the district in all of those and more areas, and potentially build that into a subsequent memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement at later points. So our JCTA Board of Directors has thoroughly reviewed all of the provisions of this agreement and has voted overwhelmingly to recommend it for ratification by the membership. So that's going to be coming to you in your mailbox, both your home email and your district email. That should reach you by Thursday of this week. And then next week, from Monday to Friday, we will have electronic voting by the members for the ratification of the extension. It's a 3-year extension again, with a 5% raise in the first year. Then the raise for the next 2 years will be negotiated, 1 year from now, and then 1 year after that. So we're very excited. We think it's a fantastic agreement. Every part of the agreement is a package, and that includes the memorandum of understanding that goes with it. And so we encourage you to look at all of those provisions. We're going to send you a Table Talk newsletter with all the details. Please take time to look over that. And if you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to contact the JCTA office. It's one vote for the entire package of everything in the agreement. So look at it carefully and cast your vote next week. We're really excited. If you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to contact JCTA at 454-3400 or email your UniServe director or me. Thanks for your support of JCTA and for all you do.